Starting stream. Starting.
You should put that
We are
Sunday
live.
Candy on as my walk-up music.
Hey, welcome everybody to the Last Show podcast. This is the live stream. We are streaming live, man. Thanks for coming to the show. And buckle in, bros. All right. That was so lame. Hello and welcome to the Last Show podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to the show. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn Radio. Also, go to my website, KortneyShaneWilliams.com. That's KortneyShane Williams.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at KortneyShane, KortneyShane.com. A little bit of housekeeping. First of all, if you like the show, please subscribe. Please subscribe and leave a review. I guess they like that out there. Leave a review and please subscribe if you like the show. Also, make sure you subscribe to my mailing list online, like for my new comedy album that's coming out. Oh, I forgot to say that. I'm a stand-up comedian based out of Seattle, Washington. This is how it gets down once a week. So make sure, you check me out, subscribe, whatever. I actually do stand-up comedy. It's not just the only thing I do. This is a sports, pop culture, whatever blog. We got a lot of topics today. We're going to talk about Charlottesville today. Going to talk about Zeke Elliot, Spike Lee. We are loaded. Maybe a little NBA. We'll see. I don't know if we'll have enough time. We may not be able to make it to Home Depot. But I introduce now the co-host for the week, back for the umpteenth time, my brother Kyle Williams. Welcome to the show.
Let's go. It's about daggone time. Cleveland View. You seem like you're off your rocker a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. You said like a few times, and then you forgot that you were a comedian. Like I like that part.
You know, dude, these live streams be throwing me off.
You called it a blog.
I did. I don't know. I got out of sorts.
I think you called it a blog. What?
I got out of sorts.
Pop culture blog, whatever. That's my favorite quote so far. What's up to the people, man? Thanks for having me on the show. Lego.
Welcome to the show, man. How was the week?
Yeah. You know what? I prepared for this question. Not really. I see now I'm saying, not throwing off. What is this? A blog? I have no. My Greek was straight, man. It was cool. Kids came back this week to school as a teacher, man, here in, not going to tell you what county because I can't get jammed up. Just in case this podcast gets me jammed up, nobody can mention my name. But kids came back. It was a good week, man. I got some teachers ready to get after it, and I'm over there coaching them, so it's going to be fun.
Started.
Yeah, man, we back into the swing of things. Yeah, so back to 7:30 a.m. traffic again, man.
Hanging and banging.
Absolutely, man.
All right. So look, man, it's a lot of places to start. And we're gonna get to Charlottesville and all that. But I gotta start here. I seen there was a report came out. I mean, it's not even a report. What do you call it when something's a fact? Like, at what point is it no longer like if somebody came and they reported, "Hey, Kortney's 33." That's not really a report. That's just true. I seen a story online that was true that Disney is taking all of their movies off of Netflix, and I thought it was gonna be like immediately. A weird press release because it's not until the end of 2018. They take it, and Disney is actually going to start their own streaming service. You know, of course, Disney owns ESPN, so ESPN and Disney are going to have like standalone streaming services, which seems like something they should have had a long time ago. It didn't even hit me that they didn't have their own one. But yeah, Disney, because Disney has a catalog. It's not like they just have one movie, right? Disney has like 3 television channels. Like, why are they on Netflix? I never thought about that.
I'm sure they still own some random rights to like Justin Timberlake and Mandy Moore somehow. I feel like there's definitely a way they're still getting a percentage of backlog NSYNC albums.
Mandy Moore, that's a good point, dude. So like, if they can put up the classic, like they can put up, the old Mickey Mouse Club. Oh yeah, when Aguilera, was she in the Mickey Mouse Club? Who else was in the Mickey? Was
Britney Spears. Britney Spears is in the Mickey Mouse Club.
Boy, oh boy. And okay, so Disney had Britney Spears, they had Timberlake, you had old girl, was it Aguilera? I already said that. Mandy Moore.
Mm-hmm. They own, and the thing is, they own all of like just silly stuff like Fred Savage. Like they own Growing Pains. Well, not Fred Savage. Growing Pains. What's your boy that passed away? That used to be on Dan Lebertar's show all the time.
Oh my man, Alan Thicke.
It's a great voice. Alan Thicke. They own Alan. They probably own Robin.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, man.
I'm confident Robin Okay, all right. What was?
You know what?
Wait. No, we're addressing that. We're addressing it. What was that? What was that?
No, I got caught up.
All right. What
I got caught up, man. You remember?
No, what was it? I want to know what it was. We're addressing that. No, what was it?
I got caught up. I got caught up in the moment, man. Everybody was doing it.
The moment of what was it? What was it though? Singing something?
That was that was your boy. That was Alan Thicke. That was Robin Thicke. With the yeah, no, yeah, want me? Hey. That's the song he got. Well, dude, I might actually get what's that called? Jammed up. Yeah, man, Marvin Gaye family. That's when Robin said he was on cocaine the entire time. You know what? It had me thinking though, because of the coke and the blurred lines. What how many junkies are actually connected to the Disney Channel? Because you got Britney. Remember when Britney Spears shaved her head and drove with her baby in the front seat?
You know what? Miley Cyrus, right? I think she might be on there.
Oh yeah,
Miley Cyrus. Oh
Hannah
man,
Montana. Hannah Montana. You know what? Hannah Montana. She could probably go on tour right now, and then come back the next week as Miley Cyrus. That's baller.
Billy Ray Cyrus or whatever.
That's baller, dog. That's baller right there. You know what I mean? That's like yeah, but you know they can put all them episodes on their streaming service, right? You can watch you some Hannah Montana, Mickey Mouse Club.
That's So Raven.
Wasn't Drake in a TV show? Dude, Disney's lit.
Nah, that was Nickelodeon though.
Oh,
I don't think they own Nick, do they?
Nah, they don't own Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon, no, they don't own it. If they own Nickelodeon, you would know. They put that mouse on there.
Wait, I don't know. Oh, they just put a mouse on.
Yeah, they put a mouse. They put a
Yeah, it'd be Nickelodeon. Yeah, they would have figured it out.
Because I was watching. Because now I got that DirecTV now. I then switched over, and I was flipping past and the Disney Channel, and I'm like, what is that? Because I seen Steamboat Willie. Ain't that the name of the old Mickey when Mickey used to be like driving the steamboat? Is it Steamboat Willie? Is that his name?
What?
I think that's his name.
No, that sounds like an African American that was probably at Uncle Tom's Cabin. And Steamboat Willie, nah, man.
Steamboat Willie.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's it. It's called Steamboat Willie, Mickey Mouse and Friends. Steamboat Willie.
What kind of voice does Steamboat Willie have?
Dude,
I guarantee you it's never.
Nah, man, look, you ain't about this Steamboat Willie. Like Steamboat Willie is 1928 American animated short film directed by Walt Disney. You got to stay woke out here, man. I mean, but the Steamboat Willie was up. I'm like, man, I ain't seen him in a minute. So, anyway.
I ain't seen you in a minute, Steam.
Disney, and then ESPN. ESPN should have a standing on long streaming. Why had they not figured this out? Like, ESPN, ESPN is firing money because they have no vision. Firing money. They're firing people because they have no vision. ESPN, just do it. But only thing is, if you do a separate stream of ESPN and Disney, right? You can't upcharge people for cable that they don't actually pay for. So people that like have ESPN that don't watch it, you're gonna lose all those people. That streaming service is gonna come back and bite you.
Steamboat Willie. I didn't see it going that direction.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I like how they waited until 2018. I'm sure they probably have a contract, but you're right. They could put Boy Meets World. I really love Boy Meets World. I ain't gonna lie, that was great. I would watch Boy Meets World. I mean, I wouldn't watch it right now, but if I had time, when I was sitting around, I would watch Boy Meets World. Look at how people interacted before cell phones.
I didn't know that was Disney,
talk to each other and stuff.
And if you're Disney, maybe you could like buy other programming too. I mean, like
buy Roseanne.
And I was talking, because I was talking to Ashley, and she was like, "Oh, that's dumb." I'm like, HBO has their own streaming service, and ESPN and Disney make more. You don't think it's weird that HBO out here? HBO's on cable too. Look, HBO been woke out here, man. Been like that for a while. All right.
So then here's the thing: we talked about Blockbuster. I wonder how Netflix comes back at this. How does Netflix clap back?
Well,
because if this is the beginning. This is probably the beginning of the end, right? Like now Universal just has a universal.com. Like if I'm a source, I just stream my own stuff. Because I'm sure they have digital, databases of all Universal movies. Like, why am I giving somebody else money to do something I could do? Like, come on.
You know, I mean, Netflix already is like a couple steps ahead because the way they clap back is they start developing their own content. And once they had content that was like better than the content that they were like getting from people, they stopped limiting the content. Like, you know, when you go on Netflix now, it's like all they ever try to get you to watch is their movies, which is like, why do I want to watch your movies? You know what I mean? Like, you know, but it's all the, like, what's that thing? What's the black superhero? What's that dude's name? He got a TV show now. I see him. Dang it. What's that dude? The Cage. Nick Cage, something Cage. That dude got a TV show. And
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
The
That's
dude,
right.
Michael Jai White from Spawn.
Yeah, that dude. I mean, that's a Netflix show, man. That is Stranger Things. I'm saying white people like that stuff. They what else they got? They Making a Murder. I mean, Netflix. They just developed their original content. The thing is, Netflix was like, we have our own content and all your good content. You know what I mean? Like, for every bad, for every bad,
yeah, that's funny. Like they want Moana, but they don't want Snow Dogs. They like no,
but
maybe that's what Disney tried to do. They was like, hey, we gonna have this deal. You gotta also take, I don't know, give me a bad movie. You also gotta take That's So Raven. They're like, nah.
It's like one of them things. Like, if you go in there, like, for every like Jungle Book bad movie, like they got like a Zootopia and a Madagascar. Like, you got to give us 2 of those, and we'll take the Jungle Book. We don't want nothing else. So
right. We're not doing this for free. Anyways, maybe that's why Disney got fed up. It's like, you know what? We'll just put all of our movies on here. I wanted to categorize them as bad children's movies. Nah, this is a whole category.
Well, you know what's dope? Like, if you go on HBO, they got like all the Sesame Streets on there, dude. Which HBO, I'm like, what the heck they got to do with Sesame Street? But anyways, congratulations to Disney. And whenever you do develop your streaming service, even before you develop your streaming service, how about you throw a brother some money? I'll do my comedy special on Disney, and you can censor it for all I care. I don't, you know what I mean? I'll dress up as Steamboat Willie. I will. It'll be like a bamboozle thing. Be a satire. Welcome to the Last Show podcast. It's called The Last Show because this may be it. All right, set up the Facebook streaming. And we're still, all right, man. So I got, damn, this thing is all tilted sideways. Oh, shit. What you getting out the car?
No, I'm good. Oh, you're talking about?
No, I was talking to you. Every week, man. Unlock. Uh-oh. It is. Uh-oh. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. What was that? Oh, yeah, that reminded me of that episode of Martin. Damn it. You know what? This ain't gonna work with that because I can't get it. It's gonna fall forward. I gotta do it like this. What the fuck? It's always something, man. It's always something.
Siempre.
What'd you say?
I said siempre.
That's what
it's Spanish for always.
I thought you said damn siempre. What the hell, man? Alright. See, now I'm panicking. Take your time. Alright, hold on. How are these all the same lengths, but this one is leaning forward so much? You still doing an open gym during the school year?
Yeah, I'm up here now. Just waiting in the parking lot.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I just went. That's why I didn't get to that Luke Cage saying quit because I had muted it while I was opening the gate. Because I realized you can hear all that stuff.
You can hear everything. Everything. All go to everything.
So.
Okay, let me see if I got it up. All right. Oh, streaming live. All right. What the hell just happened? Hello and welcome back to the Last Show podcast. Thank you for staying with the show. That right there, that's what's your boy? That's your boy Chance the Rapper, right? Parappa the Rapper. Did you ever play that game, Parappa the Rapper? What?
Yeah, I didn't really know what the point of it was. I know he was crossing the street. Maybe that was Frogger.
No, I think
I don't know, man.
Parappa the Rapper was like some, I don't know, weird game. I think it was a Super Nintendo. You know, I did that Chance. That's Chance the Rapper. No problem. You know why I did the show with Chance the Rapper? No problems. 'Cause I don't understand the Chance the Rapper thing. I'm beyond, and you know what? I think it's a compliment to me. I think anybody that understands Chance the Rapper, there's something wrong with you. Unless you're like 13 years old. If you a grown man bumping Chance the Rapper, I got a lot of questions. A lot of questions for you, lady. A lot of questions. By the way, Chance the Rapper, did you see like he headlined Lollapalooza? But it was only he had the biggest audience like ever at Lollapalooza in Chicago, which I don't quite understand because my man got 3 songs. How do you?
But it's a big Chicago show.
I mean, no, I mean, yeah, it is. Yes, it is a big Chicago show. But at the same time, for the city of Chicago, what does that really say about you? What does it say about you?
What?
Chance the Rapper, my man got 3 songs, dude. 3 songs. And you know, and it's gonna turn into hate on Chance the Rapper. And you know, sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you gotta hate. I'm out here spitting this real, ladies and gentlemen. I am spitting this real. But welcome to the live stream, you guys on Facebook, you guys on YouTube. Welcome to the show. Charlottesville, Kyle. Now, people on YouTube, you can't hear what we're saying, so you got to subscribe to the podcast. Kortney's Last Show podcast. You can find it on iTunes, Google Play, or go to my YouTube stream. Matter of fact, I'll put it in the comment section right now for all you people on Facebook. Go to the comment section, and I just posted the live stream on YouTube, and you can hear the audio that you're talking, because they can't hear what you're saying. All right, so Charlottesville. These last 3 years, ever since I guess Ferguson, these have been like the wokest 3 years in America. Like this is like, you ever like watch? Remember like the documentaries, like it will be like Martin Luther King documentary, which I watch every Martin Luther King Day, and you'd be like, man, how did that happen in America? It's like, dude, it's happening right now. These cats is on camera with the foolishness. Only difference is like it ain't the police. Well, actually, I was about to say it ain't the police beating up black people, but then I was like, yeah, I guess it is. I got that one. I got that one wrong. Actually, the exact same thing is happening on a smaller scale. But Charlottesville over the weekend, man, dude. So, where were you at when you found out? Like this is like JFK now. Where were you?
Well, where were you? Well, I was honestly, when I found out about it, it was late. I found out I was at the Indians game. Speaking of racism,
yeah,
not funny. Yeah. Cleveland Rocks. Get rid of that Indian. That red. Anybody listening under the sound of my voice, please Google it's Cleveland Indians, and if you go to images, you'll see what I'm talking about when you talk about racism. But I was watching the Indians. You know, we're from Cleveland, so I was watching the Indians there in town with the Devil playing the Devil Rays, Tampa Bay Rays. I guess they got rid of the Devil now, but Tampa Bay Rays. So I was there at the game, and one of my friends, actually, Caucasian dude, you know, obviously everybody knows we're black, but a white dude was actually on his phone. I was like, hey, what you doing over there? He's like, oh, I'm checking out this thing in Virginia. I was like, oh, what happened in Virginia? He was like, oh, man, it's just crazy protests, blah, blah, blah. So that's actually when I heard about it, and it was like 6, 7 o'clock at night. I'm not really on social media like that, so ever since Trump won, I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and get off this media. It's too many people with too many opinions. And so I found out late in the day, man. I don't know, where were you? How'd you find out? Did you find out earlier?
Oh no, I knew all day. Well, I mean, I stay on the Twitter and all that. Well, I don't stay on it. I mean, I'm on it a lot, promoting my show and things like that. Like my comedy album's coming out, and I promote now. So I'm just on all the time. You know, interacting with the people, seeing what's up. So I saw it was streaming, and then I saw the number of people tweeting about it, and then I just kind of got in. So I think I got in like at the beginning, the whole thing. So
right.
Obviously, man, super sad in a way. Super sad. It's I mean, it's shameful, it's deplorable. You know, racism is bad. I mean, however, how many more ways do you say that? You know, racism is bad. Deplorable behavior, man. a group of racists rallied, and you know somebody lost their life, man. It's just stupid stuff, man. Stupid. I seen somebody put out a comment, and it said it was like, you know, who's it, Kim Jong-un ill with whoever North Korea is, and it was like, you know, hey, we're gonna attack America, and then the next person was like, oh, don't worry about it, they'll kill themselves. It was sad, man.
That's funny. That's you know what's interesting is I said that I told you I'm not on social media, so I can't make this up. But I literally said the same exact thing to my wife when we were talking, because I was like, man, we were talking about North Korea. I was like, honestly, I don't watch the news. And, you know, you can say I'm bad or whatever. I went to a pretty good school. I learned a lot about politics. And because of that, I just don't watch the news, man. In fact, I dated a girl that watched the news a lot and I had to break up with her for several reasons. But one of them was like, I don't get how you can watch CNN every day. Like, they still killing black people. It don't matter how much you watch the news. Like, clearly no one cares about people generally that look like me. Because how do they kill black people? They get off with it. So it's like, they get off with it. So like, what are we doing? Like, why are we reporting on this? So then it just becomes us, like, talking to ourselves, I guess, about it's these things that
so
people
the
do
point
to make you feel better, right? I'm just saying. I said the same thing. I said the same thing. Give us enough time. What Tupac said that. Give them guns, step back, watch them kill each other. Hashtag changes. Tupac said that. Now before he passed away. So, anyways, you're right. We ain't got to drop a bomb. Give us enough guns and we'll figure it out ourselves. Sorry. Putting the depth on the podcast. What were you trying to say?
No, dude. I just said that you cut me off.
Hijack is in my blood,
dude. You just cut me off to go give me like a Tupac. Like you could have just gave me the bar and kept it moving. Yeah, man. So, anyways, I saw that. So, I mean, it's real sad. But, you know, my assessment of the situation, probably not the same assessment that everybody had of the situation. My takeaway, you know, first and foremost, after, you know, the tragedy, my takeaway is that I was extremely unimpressed with the KKK. Extremely unimpressed. I mean, it was kind of disparaging in a way. I mean, in a way, it made me sad. Because you have this vision of the KKK being like these people, and they're dangerous, and they're criminals. And then I saw him, this dude was wearing a jogging suit. I was like, oh, dude, that's how they rocking. They don't like the KKK. There's no respect. The KKK don't respect the KKK. I see the dude had on his regular clothes, dog. He didn't even get dressed. Don't they have costumes? There's a uniform. We all know the uniform for the KKK. It's the hood and the bed sheet. The reason they had the hood is so you couldn't be identified, so you go to work on Monday. This dude was out here in a jogging suit. I seen one dude on his iPhone. I'm like, dog, you're supposed to be terrorizing people, and you texting. Get focused. Get focused. I mean, dude, y'all need to call Huey P. Newton, call Bobby Sealy, and get. I mean, come on, get some law and order going on. KKK getting too lax with their rules, man. Come on. Thanks, Obama. The KKK, man, get back on track. Get back on track.
What are you talking about?
You can't be effectively racist on your iPhone, dude. I'm just saying. If you texted while I'm trying to rally, and by the way, did you notice that was a rally? A rally. 25 people were there at a rally. You called what would be the racist Million Man March, and 25 people showed up. That's sad. That's when you got to cut the lights off and keep moving. Like if I had a comedy show and then 25 people showed up, I'm just gonna give you your money back and we'll just act like this didn't happen. Like, you know, and so many things, so I forgot about that. The other thing is like they did it was like at a shopping center. Did you know that? Did you notice that? Did you see the rally? It was like a shopping center. I saw an H&M. I was like, is that an H&M? They do the protest at the mall? Come on, man. Come on. You're supposed to go like to a bridge. You're supposed to block traffic. Yeah, this dude was in front of a Barnes and Noble, like, and there was no speech. It was just nothing. Somebody got to have a megaphone, right? Somebody got to stand up like Mr. Clark and start spouting, you know, rules and what this is what we want, and we want, you know, white, whatever, pride, whatever I don't know what they're going for. Just white, I guess. But you got to have somebody on the megaphone. It has. I don't know. I was thoroughly unimpressed with the KKK. Like if I showed up to that show, I'd ask for my money back. I was like, I gotta get my money back, dog. Y'all don't have the equipment set up. There's no sound. We can't hear you in the back. Hey, turn the speaker, people. You ever like go to a show, you start yelling stuff out? We can't hear you back here. I've done a show like that. It was real bad. And this lady, I was like, can y'all hear me in the back? And then there was no reaction. I was like, wave your hand if you can't hear me. And then she waved her hand. I was like, okay, turn the speakers up a little bit more. I mean, come on. I mean, it wasn't even my show. I was just there to hang out. I don't want the KKK to be.
It's like when you go to. It's like when you go. So it's like when you go to. You have a meeting. The principal calls a meeting, and it's like, you know what? Hey, I'm not going to use a microphone because because I got a loud voice. Can anybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? They're like, no, we can't hear you. Oh, shit. All right. Give me the microphone back. Put the microphone back in. That's terrible, man. That's an interesting perspective, take on you have. But it makes sense. I mean, honestly, as a basketball coach, there's certain things just, you gotta look uniform. I give you that much, dog. If a dude shows up with flip flops and white socks, I just look at him like, you're not getting on the team bus like that. You're not getting. You can play for that school. Like that. Anybody on the team.
I was unimpressed because you see videos of them, and you have an image of what they're like. Dangerous. It's people not, and I'm glad there was like no guns. Like there was a militia out there though. They were dressed up like whatever, cops or whatever. But
they had a lot of stuff. Yeah,
they had like a militia. But yeah, thoroughly unimpressed. And then like when the fight broke out, they just started fist fight. They're just exchanging blows. I'm like, really? That's it? Y'all came out here for a fist fight? Come on, dude. Y'all walked and rallied to get in a fist fight? Nah, dude, man, ain't nobody got a chain or a bike lock or nothing. Yeah, man, look, it was horrible. I was unimpressed. There was 23 people. I don't know what happened to the KKK recruiting, but y'all need to get on Craigslist and just get a bigger squad. Get a bigger squad. Put an ad on Craigslist, man.
I do remember when they had a uniform. Like, even their livestock used to have like the hoods and stuff. And I mean, so I don't know. They used to put it on the horses and everything. So
yeah, that's right.
Things have changed, but
yeah, what happened to the horses?
Maybe that's terrorism. You can see my.
What happened to the horses, man? They used to have horses. What happened? You know what? If I was a police officer, I'd want to be one of the police on the horse. Like that's the only way. I'm gonna have like the person that get to drive the Denali. Like I'll be the cop. Like every once in a while, you feel like, is that a Suburban? Like, what crime is he fighting with a Suburban? So I either be the cop, with the SUV or a horse. I don't want to be a motorcycle. It is too dangerous. I don't want to be a regular cop car. You know what I mean? That's too suspicious. On a horse with some chaps. You know what I mean? Just making sure people leave the club at 4:30. Doing stuff. Crime.
I just don't. What's crazy? I would have thought that with the election of this new guy, that for some reason these guys would be less angry. Like I don't understand. Like honestly, it was a great 8 years.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I say that. Like African Americans were not angry for exactly 8 years and 2 months. Like we were straight from November, even when Bush was still in office. From November of 2008 or 2007, whenever he got elected, all the way through those 8 years, black people were happy. Like we were like, "This is great. Our man is in. You can't."
But it was kind of like all people. It wasn't even like It wasn't even like a black people thing. It was just like, no, I don't. What happened may not be the word. I mean, it's politics.
Well, definitely black people though.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I guess I can roll with that.
Clearly there were some people. Clearly there are people that were angry. Because they're fighting and upset right now. So clearly there were some angry people. But if you went to an African American household, like they had a picture right up there next to Jesus taped onto the wall. Like we were a happy people for 8 years. Like we was taking it cool on MLK Day. It was like, you know what, we're gonna let Black History Month slide. We ain't even worried about it. Like everything was sweet, man, for a while. Even in the midst of some of the deaths that happened last summer, man, we were like, this is bad, but we got somebody that cares enough, and we know we got their back. Newtown, Connecticut, like so many terrible things happened, but people still knew they're like, oh, this guy cares about us. So there was a lot of happiness. I don't get it. Like, your guy got elected, and people are still like, you're still mad. Like,
I mean, well, maybe I guess maybe
it
can embolden you if you feel like you got the power, so then you become emboldened in a way. And you know what? I mean, this was in Virginia, Charlottesville in Virginia, but they're starting to do like. But
what are you angry about?
I'm saying, but they're starting to do like even in places. I think there is in Virginia, but there's places where they're starting to like take down Confederate statues and like throw them in the closet. Like they're doing a lot of that kind of stuff. Like, hey, we no more, Confederate flag on certain state capitals. You know what I mean? Transgender people in the bathroom. Like stuff is moving fast, and they're not ready for that. They're not ready.
Yeah.
But
so maybe it's a good point, because I guess when Obama was in, people were still passionate, but they were passionate about stuff that helped people. That's the difference between like those two people. Like we were passionate about like, let's make sure everybody affordable care. Let's raise minimum wage. And they're like, let's make sure these racist people don't get taken down from their statue. Robert E. Lee should deserve a statue. Like, nah, he doesn't.
Robert E. Lee.
My bad. I'm cutting you off the Go ahead.
Hey, Robert E. Lee, sneaky fat. Sneaky fat Robert E. Lee. You ever see like a headshot of Robert E. Lee? Sneaky fat, man. It's weird that
I just imagine him running out for battle and like losing his hat.
Dude,
fat dude.
losing his hat, yeah, like a dude, yeah. You know what's funny? Robert E. Lee, when he saw that protest last night, he was rolling in his grave. He was like, "Man, I died for this." I mean, him and Jefferson Thomas, ain't that other dude, Jefferson Thomas? This dude was rolling in his grave, man.
Come on, man.
Should have never gave you money.
It took us weeks to come up with those uniforms. That's not funny.
I know,
hey, I should say, I'll say.
Oh, by the way, the uniform.
Hey, if you were affected.
Didn't they used to have like the red coats?
Let me just make the PSA. Let me make the PSA. If you were affected by it, we are not trying to make light of it.
We are all affected by it. We're all affected.
100%. We are, exactly. I mean, this is what happens. Let's be clear. This is what happens when you're black in America, man. And I'm not saying
you keep talking about
so often.
And I agree. You keep talking about black and white, or not even black and white, but you keep talking about.
You gotta put some perspective on it, man. You really do, because it's sad. Like some people lost their loved ones, man.
I'm not joking about the incident. I'm joking about the KKK. Like, let's make it clear. I didn't say anything really about the incident. Just the bombed out and depleted nature of the KKK is hilarious. I find it hilarious. I just do. I mean, dude,
it's amusing.
They used to have horses, and all of a sudden it was dude in a Dodge Intrepid. Like, things are just like they're upside down, topsy turvy. But I did want to get to this, and this is special. It's been a long time. This guy hasn't appeared on the podcast lately, but fired up. This is the Don't Get Jammed Up segment. Oh, goodness gracious. Spit that game, Ozzy. Oh, we're jamming. That's my man Bob Marley, and leading him in was my man Ozzy Davis. So there's this Twitter account, and now I got to pull up the tweet because I didn't have the tweet pulled up because my planning has been awful. I got to stop these live streams. That's the whole problem, man. I need to get focused on what I'm doing. So there's this Twitter account that I've actually been retweeting all week. You can follow me on Twitter at Kortney Shane. That's KRTNEY. The name of this Twitter account is so apropos. It's called You're a Racist. And it's just that's just what it basically is. It says, yes, you're a racist. It's a Twitter account. Now, this Twitter account, to me, it became popular because what it did is every every person in the rally that was on the Nazi side, he decided that he was going to go ahead and put out their true identity and try to get these people fired from work. And he did a fantastic job. You're a racist. This one that stuck out, especially good for me. Like he went way back. He had people in their high school yearbook pictures, and he was like zooming in on people's faces and like, if you know this guy, tell me. And he actually sent out this tweet. It says alt-right fascist seen in downtown Oakland at the courthouse. He sent out a picture, and it looks like a yearbook picture of all these people. And there's men, there's women. There's a Marco Gutierrez on there, which I find to be fascinating. That dude has a story. I mean, Marco Gutierrez, the racist Nazi. That dude has a story, and I'm thoroughly interested in. He sent out one. My man got a mean mustache on. There's one particular one I want to file down to him. The angry young man, and this dude is the one on the front of like the Huffington Post and the New York Times, and he's the front one. His name is Peter Shevletchikov. He's a student, and basically my man got fired right there on the spot. As soon as they sent out his picture, he got fired from his job, and he sent out a statement that said, you know, that it didn't let me see. It said, no, that's the one. Thank you. So, this is how he got fired in a press release. It says, "Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We apologize for the delayed response. However, we've been inundated with inquiries regarding the incident involving one of our employees that attended the rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. We'll be releasing a statement on our website tomorrow. For now, we feel it is imperative to let you know Cole White, no longer employed by Top Dog LLC." Who knew? The man worked for Kendrick Lamar. Top Dog Entertainment. Man, I gotta scroll. There was one dude, because there was one dude that was a racist, and then he sent out an apology. Yeah, I can't find him. Anyways, so this account You're a Racist basically just jammed up everybody was on there, and I was woke to the whole situation before it even started. I was there. I sent it out and I said, if this is not the picture you want to be in, that's why you need the hood. Okay, that's why you need the hood. Then y'all gonna have a meeting with Joe Pesci in the desert. He gonna say, "Hey, what phone did you call me on? Yo, house phone? Why would you do something like that? You're gonna go to all put in jail, and now you lost your job for what? For what? So you get in a fist fight in H&M? You could have did that with your hand down. I mean, don't throw the swats. Just get in a fist fight. Don't do all this foolishness. And if you're gonna be racist, get a disguise. Get a disguise. Don't get jammed up. All right.
I want to be clear. I didn't speak. I didn't speak. So don't get jammed up situation. I had nothing to do with any of this, man. Thanks for having me on the pod. This is great.
All right. If you got to bounce, you can boogie. I'm gonna keep it cracking, because cracking is what we do. All right. I want to talk about Zeke Elliot, shall we? So Ezekiel Elliott got suspended from the NFL. He got 6 games. An investigation. He plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Running back. Still not running back. You could argue he was, well, not even argue. He should have been Rookie of the Year. And you can argue that he should have been in the MVP race. Impact player. Very good football player. Doesn't seem like he can keep his hands to himself. And he got suspended for violating the personal conduct policy in the NFL. And they said he put his hands on a woman a few times. This is what the report says. And when you heard the suspension, what did you think?
Honestly, my first reaction was, guess he's not going on the #1 in fantasy drafts anymore. That's my first one. I was like, guess I'm going with Le'Veon Bell with the first pick. That was my first reaction. And the second one was like, he might go to #3 though, because last year Le'Veon Bell missed 4 games and still was a high fantasy producer. But maybe I'm making light of the situation. That was my first thought, and I think that he'll probably get appealed and probably get it down to 4, because that's generally what the NFL does. They'll give you a bunch of games, and then they'll assume you're going to appeal, and then they'll knock it down by like a game or 2. So that was my first piece. Yeah, that was my first thought. I don't know. What was your first thought?
My first, I wasn't shocked, because I think I heard like Chris Carter said something. It's weird. Like every once in a while, I watch like Fox Sports 1 now, because it's on DirecTV, and Chris Carter was like report. I'm like, when did Chris Carter become a reporter? But Chris Carter, sneaky, he went to Ohio State, and he knows Zeke Elliott went to Ohio State. So when he started talking about some things, and I'm like, he knows something. He just knows something. I think Chris Carter's like from Ohio. Like Chris Carter knows like the bad people on Ohio State and the good people, the ugly. I mean, his son played for Ohio State and got thrown off the team. Like he knows what's going. He got thrown off Ohio State, so like he knows how to run afoul of the law. So I wasn't surprised when I did think it took way too long for the suspension, which is probably going to be the sentiment of everybody. And I also found it inconsistent, which is what I kind of want to talk about. At least my angle is that I find it inconsistent, because the NFL said, because the NFL, it's their job to crack down on crime, right? You know, because when I think crime, I think the NFL. So the NFL is cracking down on crime, and I thought if you hit a woman after the Ray Rice incident that you got a 6-game suspension, right? I mean, that's what I thought, and that's what Zeke Elliot got. But what happens when, you know, according to their report, you hit a woman 3 times? You still get 6 games? I just don't understand. I don't get it. And
Yeah,
I mean, the prosecutor in Columbus, Ohio, said he or she, I think it was actually a she, thinks something happened, but they didn't have enough to bring a case, which is the way justice works, right? You can't prove a crime. You know, you're innocent until proven guilty. So if you can't prove a crime, you can't bring a case. Doesn't mean a crime didn't happen. It means you can't prove. It's not about what you know. It's about what you can prove. Just because you know it, you can't prove it, so there is nothing there. So, like, I'm not saying he didn't do. As a matter of fact, I think he probably did do something. Like, so make that clear. I'm not saying that I think he did do something. I think he should have got more than. I think he should have got a year suspension. Period. A year. That's it. Especially in well, I'll let you go. I'll let you go right now, but because I'm about to take.
No, it's cool. It's just, you know, here's the thing, man. To that point, you know, hey, you see, I'm trying to wait. I'm trying to get better at this. But you know, Alonzo for training day taught us that it's not what you know, it's what you can prove, man. What is your proof? I just feel like, I ain't gonna lie, man. It frustrates me. Like I said, the first thing is fantasy football because I fell in the middle of that, and I kind of just thought about that. But when you think about somebody actually striking a woman, it just seems like, it just reminds me of Charlottesville. And I don't want to take us down, but, you know, I can't. It's tough for me to laugh, which I'm glad that my brother is a comedian. It makes me happy because you can find an angle that makes somebody laugh in the middle of despair and sadness. But the truth is, it's just sad, man. It's just sad. Like, I don't get how, to your point, a woman could be targeted 3 times by the same guy, and the way to fix that is a suspension. Like, the way to fix that is you can't play football. And what's crazier is that that's her best recourse, meaning that the actual judicial system said you got the crap beat out of you, but because your stories don't quite match up, you don't have enough eyewitnesses, or we can't get enough people to corroborate. Like, because of all that, we can't help you out. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I that frustrates me because, you know, we got sisters we talk about once in a while, and the thing that something like that would happen, and then you get 6 games. And what's crazy is 6 games is a big suspension. Like, it's not like that's small. And the crazier piece is that I think, to your point of it taking a while, honestly, I think it's one of the best things. I think people are going to be, they should be celebratory of the NFL, because I think the NFL learned, with Ray Rice, when they came out and tried to get that boy a few games. They're like, we'll just give him a couple games. Yeah. And then they realized they should shut their mouth and wait until TMZ releases the video. So they gave it 6 months. Honestly, I thought that was a great exercise in patience. Also, the same thing happened with Deflategate with the Patriots on a much smaller, much stupider level. I mean, but I thought it was great that they actually exercised some caution this time and said, okay, we have this story. It looks juicy. It looks salacious. Let's have the guts. Let's have the shaputzpah to actually be patient, put this thing on ice for a second, really investigate and make sure that we don't know before we get lambasted for giving this guy a 1-game suspension or no suspension or a 4-year suspension. And the truth is, we don't have all the facts yet. So I was proud of that. I was happy about that piece of it.
You know what though? Like, you know, I'm not an NFL fan, to be honest with you. So it's easy for me to say this. And the reason I'm not an NFL fan, that actually may change because the Browns, I think, are actually going to be good. And by good, I mean, you know, 6 games. Let's not go crazy here. 6 games. I mean, so that may change a little bit, but I'm not an NFL fan. So I find them to be deplorable on a lot of levels. I don't think. Maybe they were investigating, maybe not. But the idea that, you know, a lot of people have said this. Oh, they took their time because of the last time or whatever. You took your time, and you found 3 times he beat up a woman or this woman, and you suspend him for 6 games. Your policy is 6 games for the first incident. So wasn't that 3 separate incidents? So shouldn't it have been 18 games? And of all your investigation, All you come back with is 3 times. What the hell? What were you doing all the other time? I mean, what was and on top of that, for you to think that like you should be applauded because you quote unquote investigated crime. What qualifies you to investigate crime? Like it's like me if I was like, I'm gonna investigate Zeke Elliot, and I just like, hey, can I talk to your dad? No. Can I talk to you? No. Well, I'm gonna look at that police report. And I look at it, I read it over. Let me talk to the girl. You don't remember? Huh? 6 games. And then I'm supposed to applaud you. What is actually going to happen is he's going to appeal. And this is going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And
I just imagine Joe Gibbs coming up to you and be like, hey, I need to ask you a couple questions. Like, I just imagine, like, Tom Coughlin. Like, I just imagine Tom Coughlin looks like a police detective. Yo, I would just imagine Tom Coughlin coming up to you like, hey, I gotta ask you a couple questions. Like, what are you doing right now, man? Is that a Steelers hat? Nah, I'm here on official NFL business. You're not an investigator, man. You ain't in show business. Anyways, I'm with you on that. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't give many credit. I don't think the NFL knows I don't think they know what they're doing at all. I just don't know how anybody can trust any investigation that they possibly do that requires them using any strain of discernment or any. I just don't know how you could look and say they should be applauded. I mean, and maybe I'm missing it. You know what? But my position has been consistent ever since, I would say, like the Bounty Gate thing. They shouldn't be investigating crime. Dude. Get out of the crime business. I'm not even sure. Like I said on the podcast I'm not sure you should get fired for hiring a prostitute. Like, I'm not sure what any of this really has to do with work. Should you be able to beat up women and play in the NFL? No, I don't think so. At the same time,
well, should you be the biggest piece?
I'm not the one. At the same time,
should you be able to
assess? I don't know. Like, so I'm supposed to think what they're better than the prosecutors for Columbus, Ohio? These people went to school for this. Roger Goodell didn't go to school for this. Roger Goodell, what does he do? What does Roger Goodell honestly do? Wear cheap suits and do the ice bucket challenge. And this dumpster is going to try to tell me what rules are. So I just get out of the punishment business, man. I've been consistent about it. And I think he should have got more games at the same time, which is weird. It's weird for me to say, I don't know, but he should have got more games. If what they're saying
I think he should have got more games. Go ahead.
If what they're saying is true, he should have got more games. But I don't believe you.
The standard deviation is you need more people. The standard deviation is so crazy right now because the president said he grabs women's private parts. So it's like, you can't play football for doing something wrong.
How many games would Donald Trump be suspended?
This guy said this.
Donald Trump would at least get a few games. Thing is he get a few. Donald Trump would get a few games, dude. Because you can't.
Donald Trump. That's a 3-game suspension.
That's a 3-game suspension, dude.
That's locker room talk.
And it
makes it worse if you say locker room talk.
Yeah, and then you're in the drug program as well. You're 3 games. You're in the drug program, and you got to cut your hair to get back in the NFL. You got to cut your hair. Michael Vick would look at Donald Trump. He got to cut his hair. First thing Donald Trump got to do. if that's Michael Vick, first thing Donald Trump got to do. If you got to cut your hair, man. you got to cut your hair, man.
Man, I tell you what. Who's hurt the most out of this is good. Well, whether they know it or not, it's good on OHIO State, man. Them boys, gone are the days where people was just signing jerseys for money and getting free tattoos. Like, gone are those days.
Yeah.
Now you got real scandal on campus. You know why? Because you decided to invite Urban Meyer. So congratulations. You didn't see this dude's track record? Percy Harvin, Aaron Hernandez. Like, this dude deals in cold, hard criminals. Now, I'm not saying, again, I'm not excusing anybody saying it's cool to hurt another person, particularly another woman. But I'm just saying this dude deals in this. Like, clearly what he is teaching, and I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast, man, but Last Chance U. Everybody's killing that coach.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
One of the things that I was saying, maybe we'll do it next show, man. Yeah, I'll just say a small piece of it is that everybody's killing that coach for how bad he is. Can you imagine what they're doing at a Division I program, particularly a Division I program like Ohio State, particularly a Division I program like Ohio State where the coaches turned out killers, particularly a Division I program like Ohio State has turned out killers and winning national championships, and Reese has turned out people that are beating on other people.
You know what's funny
Like,
too?
can you imagine? Anyways,
And
we'll talk about that.
This slipped past the goalie till you said it. That dude Gary and Conley, he went to Ohio State too. The guy that plays for the Raiders, that's being investigated for put his hands on a woman. Like Urban Meyer, you back at it, man. I mean, I love to defend you, man. Well, actually, I wouldn't. This dude,
Urban Meyer makes Laramie Tunsil look like Malcolm X.
I mean, Larry Tunsil, man, that was minor league stuff. I mean, that was just, that
was nothing. It was a gas mask.
Nothing, man. I mean, it's just a gas mask. It's no big deal. I mean, that's legal where I live.
Like, isn't that like, you know what? But now I'm getting off my soapbox soon because I know you got more topics. But to people listening, Josh Gordon, right? And Josh Gordon got suspended. He's been out of the league for like 3 years for marijuana. This dude's beating up like other people. Like, come on, man. Now, I know we got it right with Ray Rice. The worst thing that could ever happen is a video come out of this, because then they'll sit there and they'll lambaste the NFL again.
There's a video of Zeke Elliot.
To your point, no, I'm saying if it came out. Oh, but I'm saying your point is
if there's a video of Zeke Elliot.
Oh boy. Just hang it up, Roger. Roger, this is it. Like the NFL, then you'll get lambasted because you've decided. What'd you call it? Hip hop police? Like that's what you hate
hip hop crossing
do?
Guard. That's J. Cole. The hip hop.
Yeah, you decided to be an NFL crossing guard, man. Like you decided to dabble in this, so now people are gonna hold you to a standard that you can't hold yourself to. It's impossible. You pay people to be meat hooks and kill people on Sunday, like one day a week. You put to try to kill each other. Like that's what you literally do. And now you're gonna say because they're doing it on the weekends, somebody else. Now we're offended by it. We're disappointed by it. And anyways, I don't want to go too far in the analogy, but
no, I just think the punishment business it's a tough business. It's tough business, man. For you to sign up for
almost impossible to win.
Makes almost no sense. So, and it's gonna get appealed. And what's gonna happen in the appeal? Well, it gets appealed back to the commissioner. I mean, and he can fight it like Tom Brady. And if he fights it like Tom Brady, he's actually going to get off. Because he wasn't charged with a crime. That's going to be an issue. Right. Like, that's going to be an issue where the dude's not charged with an actual crime. So, that's what I feel about, the Zeke Elliot thing. There was something else that flashed into my mind when you was talking about that, too. But, the college thing.
Too, actually. I can't remember what it was.
The college thing. So, with Urban Meyer and all that. The funny thing is, people from college, I guess they get thrown out or they get kicked out or they get whatever, but you don't hear a lot of those kind of assaults and those. Maybe they're all hidden too. I'm not sure, but it's one of those things. In college is even more transparent because you have more control. Number one, they're younger. Number two, they're not getting paid, and the idea is do the right thing so I can get paid, and then I can act a damn fool. Like that's basically what the idea is. At the same time, it is the NFL. It is a brutal sport. It is violent, and you're going to get some violent people. And it's like that scene in Road to Perdition when my man said there are only murderers in this room. Dude, that's what it is. This is human cockfighting, ladies and gentlemen. And if you like it, you like it. Same with the UFC too. When John Bones Jones is strung out, getting in a car accident, doing cocaine, I mean, I kind of expect that. But that is that.
And even if you don't expect it, you definitely are not allowed to be surprised by it. No. That's a big piece.
Like you surprised Mike Tyson's a crazy? No. Mike Tyson, by the way, that's an interesting turn. I've never talked about that on the podcast, but this dude actually did hard time for and even the stuff that he's like confessed on camera, it would make him
and not like that Muhammad Ali time, like. Hard
time.
Conscious objective.
But now this dude is like a lovable. He's on interviews and he's laughing and joking. This dude's raped somebody. Got convicted of rape. Convicted. And this dude walks around like nothing happened, dude. Michael Vick, he makes one comment about getting a haircut. Dude gets slaughtered, dude. Boy, Mike Tyson, he'd at least get 6 games in the NFL. Getting convicted of raping some that's 7 games. You know what? That's a year. That's a year suspension. You're in the drug program, and you got to get another haircut. The other thing I find interesting about Mike Tyson, and this is not even like a joke. Like, look at interviews. There's an interview he did. It is by far the hair stands up on my arms every time I see it. But he's doing an interview like at a boxing after he's like trained, and it's like a bunch of reporters, and a reporter asks a question and he answers a question, and then a female reporter asks a question, and he goes, "Have you ever seen this interview?" Hello? Oh, you're good.
Oh yeah, it's opposite of good. Oh yeah, no, it's opposite of good.
You seen this?
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Oh yeah, he
said some lewd and lascivious things. It's gonna get jammed up type situation. So
I'm gonna repeat it. No, man, they need to know what's going on with Mike. Y'all out here watching The Hangover. I know what's going on with Mike Tyson. So Mike said, a female asked him a question, and he goes, "Oh, is it?" And then he goes like, "Oh, is it your turn to ask a question?" And in front of all these reporters, he said this, and he was like, "Because you might want to wait your turn." He goes, "Plus, I don't really do a lot of interviews with female. I don't talk. That's what he said. I don't talk to a lot of females unless I fornicate with them first. So unless you want to, you probably should be quiet." And the next question, and no one stopped. It's just next question. Yeah. And this is the guy that you're like, oh, that lovable Mike Tyson. Look, Mike Tyson will rip your nuts off. Right? Mike Tyson said on stage one time, he called a dude a sexual, well, not sexual. He called him a homophobic slur that starts with F and ends with T. And then he goes, F you, homophobic slur. I'll have sex with you till you like it. Mike Tyson. Deplorable human being. But everybody loves him. So, meanwhile, Colin Kaepernick can't get a job. I don't understand this America. This America I live in. I don't quite get it. Don't quite get it. And, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Zeke Elliot thing, but it's not going to be over. This is a long way for over. The investigation was a year, and this is going to be at least, even though he gets to hear the appeal, but we'll see what happens because I think this. I
think the appeal will be quick. I think they'll do a couple. I think it'll be a couple weeks. I think by the end of the preseason, we'll know. You know why? Because there's a lot of money riding on this, so they're gonna figure it out before game one. Like, I'm sorry to say that, but I guess you know what? Didn't Tom Brady? Didn't he play for a little while before they figured out the appeal?
No, he played the entire season. He played the entire season.
Oh, yeah, with the appeal, right?
I mean, he played in the Super Bowl.
That was different. He played. I'm trying to figure out how to say it. He was white.
No.
That was different.
But time out, because he played.
Because they figured that Le'Veon Bell thing out before the season started. He sat out them games. It's like, nah, you going to sit down. Josh Gordon, we got that figured out quick. Now, you can play some preseason games. We're going to figure it out before the season starts.
Hold up, time out. Did the Patriots win back-to-back Super Bowls?
Nah, They lost. They
beat Atlanta, and then they beat Seattle. But I don't know if that was back-to-back. That was back-to-back, right?
No, Denver won in the middle. Denver won, remember? It was Denver-Seattle one year. Nah, because it was Denver-Seattle. And no, Denver won again. Who they play though? I don't know who Denver played.
They beat the Panthers.
They beat the Patriots, maybe.
They beat the Panthers.
They beat the Panthers. Yeah, they beat the Panthers. Yeah,
okay. Because I was trying to remember, because the one year when he got accused of it, it was during a playoff game, and then he just kept playing in the playoffs after that. But I thought they went to the Super Bowl. But I guess they didn't. Yeah, that was the Colts.
They lost. I think they lost maybe to the Steelers.
I thought it was the AFC Championship game. But I guess maybe I'm wrong, or maybe. Well, then, that year, because that year they beat Seattle. That's what happened.
I don't know.
That's what happened. They played the Colts in the AFC Championship. Then they beat Seattle in the Super Bowl. And then it came out, and he played a whole nother year under suspension, but they didn't get to the Super Bowl. Then last year, he served the 4-game suspension. So, and that was the other thing with Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't want to take a shortened suspension. They were going to take this suspension away, but he was like, you just have to say you did something wrong. He was like, no, I'm good. I'm like, no,
I'm straight on that.
So Zeke Elliot, when they come to him with a reduced suspension, he'll probably take it because he's younger and he's like, whatever, man. So it'd be interesting. At the same time, if you give the man a reduced suspension, what does that say about the real suspension and this whole trust me, I did an investigation, and perhaps you didn't, and you want this to go away? I'm not buying it. And the NFL fans, by the way, you guys are to blame. That's why I'm saying I'm not a fan. You NFL, y'all are to blame, man. Y'all let the NFL get away with this garbage, and they treat y'all like marks, and you look like a mark. And you're always siding with management too. Anytime there's a dispute, some marks. All right. Yeah, marks. I hate NFL fans, man. They're the worst.
Mark busters.
NFL fans are the dumbest fans in any sports. They're the dumbest by far. It's not even close. It's just stupid. They just anything they say. You wear jerseys with other dudes' names on your back. You pay way too much money for the jersey, and then you get mad when he holds out.
You should just do this about the 12th man. Just be honest. You're really talking about the 12th man right now. You're not talking about everybody.
Nah, Jets fans too. Shane. Funny enough, those are the only two places.
You say Jets fans?
Jets fans too. But I used to live in New York, and they're marks too. It's just marks, man. You let them do whatever you want to do, and then you get mad when somebody holds out. Man, this dude is getting CTE for your enjoyment. The least you could do is let him get a couple bucks. You get mad at him. Get mad at the owners. The owners making all this money. Bob Kraft and all these. Come on, they got a salary cap. There's a salary cap in the NFL. You cannot lose money in the NFL, and you mad at the player. You know, because Revis wants to get a man a couple dollars, man. So speaking of Colin Kaepernick, this protest. So this, you're not on social media that much, but this, I guess, went viral. Colin Kaepernick, they're doing a protest in front of the league headquarters office for Colin Kaepernick. It's scheduled for August 26th. The same day Floyd Mayweather fights McGregor. I feel like somebody knew that. And it was like, hey, if we could just party all day and put it up on the big screen at Times Square. And Spike Lee sent out an Instagram about it, which kind of got it some buzz because, you know, Spike Lee and he's going to be there. They did spell Colin Kaepernick's name wrong on the flyer, which lets me know this is a minor league operation. This is going to make me as sad as that KKK rally. I can feel it. I can feel it, dude. So like 5 people are going to show up in front of a Dunkin' Donuts. It's going to be for Colin Kaepernick, and I'm going to be sad. But Spike Lee's supposed to be there. And if I was anybody that's going to the rally, and I know Spike Lee's going to be there, I would tell you, I tell you this. Make sure, number one, that Spike Lee doesn't get you on camera. Because I'm sure Spike Lee's going to, bring some kind of camera. It's the 8mm something. He's gonna some Zapruder film, a flip phone. Spike Lee's gonna get this on camera. So make sure you don't sign a waiver. Because if you sign a waiver, you'll be in a Spike Lee movie and you ain't getting paid. That's just the way to. Spike Lee's cheap. He don't pay people.
At some point, he's got to be on a skateboard. We know that much.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a double dolly shot. If they put you on any kind of moving contraption like that, that's the one. Don't just know you're officially on camera. The crazy thing about Spike Lee is I was watching Bamboozled the other day, and one of my wife's friends came over. Was like, "What is this? None of your business, dog. It's grown folks' business. What you worry about what I'm doing? Don't make me call Zeke Elliot." Anyways, but so, that was horrible. I'm sorry. I was watching Bamboozled, and my wife was watching it with me, so I didn't tell her anything about the movie. Now, the movie's a satire, but in the movie Bamboozled, there's a bunch of actors in there, and when you watch it, you're like, how did Spike Lee get all these people in the movie? Well, Spike Lee would find actors like right before they hit their apex, their star, and he'd basically find them on the way up, except for like Denzel Washington. They have a relationship, but other actors, he'd find them on their way up. So Bamboozle is like a perfect example of that exactly. In that movie is your boy Damon Wayans is in that movie. So is Michael Rappaport, who, he never found his way up. Michael Rappaport just is always that guy for the rest of his life. And Halle Berry's in Bamboozle. So is Tommy Davidson. The dude that tap dances, I forgot his name. He's in the movie. Mos Def is in the movie, and there's another guy in the movie. Can't remember. But the movie's like loaded with all these people, and it's because Spike Lee didn't pay people. And I know Spike Lee didn't pay people because I read Spike Lee's book, and they talk about how Spike Lee didn't pay people. Spike Lee, you want to know something crazy? This is in his book. Spike Lee, the movie Crooklyn. Which is a
great movie,
very good film. That movie was actually written by, I think, his sister, and he paid his sister for the script and cut her out of the movie completely. Allegedly, I'm pretty sure I read that in his book. And he talks about it in the book. He just cut it out, and it's like his brother and sister were mad, but he paid them, so they're like, what are you gonna do? And his sister was in all of his movies too. And actually, his first movie, Do the Right Thing, was financed by his grandmother. And he borrowed some money from his grandmother, like whatever it was, $5,000 or whatever he needed. He borrowed the money. Like Do the Right Thing was not made for that much money. I mean, you can watch Do the Right Thing and see it wasn't made for that much money.
Yeah, so, not that surprising.
And once again, he had Samuel Jackson in there. He had what was it, Radio Raheem? I forgot his real name. He had him up in there.
Lieutenant Salvin.
Yeah, Turturro. Yeah, Lieutenant Salvin. Yeah, that's his name. He had his sister up in there. He even had what's your girl that was naked in the movie? Thank God for the nipple. Thank God for the right nipple. Ozzie Davis was in there. Ruby D was in there. You know what your girl is. You spent the money from White Man Can't Jump.
Gloria.
Rosie Perez.
White Man Can't Jump. Rosie Perez.
Rosie Perez was up in there naked. And he borrowed like $5,000, I think, from his grandmother. I think it was $5,000. I feel like $5,000 is not enough, but it was something like that. I'm going to reread that book. And that movie was a hit, of course, made a bunch of money. And I think all he did is gave his grandmother back that $5,000. Like there was no interest on that money. He's like, thanks, man.
Yeah, that wasn't an investment. That
keep
was
it moving. So anyways,
cut of that.
I said that to say, in all those allegedly, I got to reread the book. And it is autobiography, though. Like, it's not like secondhand account. And,
he wrote it.
Yeah, he wrote it, man. So, I
gotta told on himself.
But if y'all at the rally, you see Spike Lee, don't get on the double dolly shot and don't sign the waiver because he will put you in there. And by the way, it got me thinking, if there's a protest in New York City for Colin Kaepernick, who do you want to see at the protest? Who do you want to see? Because I got some ideas.
Honestly, I tell you what I know is Spike Lee ain't gonna do it. If I'm in a gym and Spike Lee shows up, I'm like, hey, Spike, thanks. Can you call Denzel? That'd be great. That's all I'm going to ask Spike to do, man. I'm good. I'd rather have Damon Wayans. Like, maybe he'll tell some jokes, get the crowd live. I don't know. Maybe he'll be the feature act. And then I'll have you come headline.
Can't have a comedian rap because a comedian, they're not going to be really ready to fight. And if they really ready to fight, then, like if you invite, like, Corey Holcomb or something, what I mean? Like, something could really pop off, like, for real.
And Spike Lee likes to be behind the camera, but he likes to be in front of it too. Like next thing you know, he's got a small role in my protest. It's like, come on, man.
I don't know how we got on Spike Lee, but you know what's funny that the movie
because Spike Lee's hilarious.
Is it She Hate Me? Move. Is it she? It's either She Hate Me or She's Gotta Have It. I can't remember, but he was in the movie because he couldn't afford another actor. Like the dude's broke, man. He don't pay anybody. But the movies are fantastic, so it got you thinking, like, you got a dream. There's $1 in a dream. Ain't that what J. Cole said? That's all you need. You can scam somebody. But who at the rally? I feel like Jim Brown. Jim Brown was good at the rally. Even though Jim Brown, he got a lot of creep in his past, too. I already talked about Mike Tyson. I don't want to expose you. I don't want to lift the scales from your eyes completely. But just Google Jim Brown, and domestic violence. Google that one. But they got Jim Brown. He's always somebody. I think the Grand Marshal of the parade should be Charles Oakley, especially since it's in New York City. I feel like Charles Oakley would bring, a nice, what is it called? A je ne sais quoi. A little je ne sais quoi. Charles Oakley show up
in New York. No, somebody getting kicked out. That's bad business.
It's close to MSG too. Well, Charles Oakley's about that life too.
I probably want Charlemagne the God. I want Charlemagne the God to be there, but he's got to be on my side. That's the only thing I need to see what you gonna say before you say it. And I don't want you going out there just going off cuff.
That's true. And he got to have a microphone too. He can't just show up with no microphone, because other than that, you're useless. What are you here for? You got to have a microphone. Yeah. You got Charlemagne God got to show up. He got to have a microphone. And only thing about Charlemagne is he don't mind getting beat up because, like, he's one of them dudes that he'll just sue you. He won't throw the first punch or any punch for that matter. He'll just get beat up and then sue somebody.
And then talk about the suit on his show.
Yeah.
And I'll be donkey of the day. Like, I can't be donkey of the day on your show if you're coming to my protest. Maybe Biggie's mom. I feel like she's a lot of stuff. That's kind of sad. But
if Charlemagne the God was a member of that KKK investigation, he not only would he still have a job, somebody at his job would owe him some money now. Like it'd have been some kind of bet, some kind of punk. You know what I mean? Charlemagne's always working an angle, dude. That dude got a book on the New York Times bestseller. He's hosting that show. crazy, man.
Yeah, the point is, I need TD Jakes. Honestly, that's who I want. That's who I want. Done and done. If I have a rally, TD Jakes got to show up, or else it ain't official.
I do feel like TD Jakes would probably have an appearance fee. And
that'd be
tough.
Hey, you going too far to comedy, man.
TD Jakes has like a syndicated television show, man. That's like calling Dr. Phil, basically. TD Jakes has an appearance fee, and he probably has like some stipulate, like he can only have blue M&Ms in his hotel room. You know, probably like a chauffeur. You know, no Uber. If you Uber, you got to like Uber black, like, you know.
I need to see that script beforehand too. I don't want you just doing recycled material from Roman 9 loose. Like, come on, man. I need to see the script, man. You can't just be giving me Badia lines. Like, come on.
And TD Jakes, he need to leave by a certain time so he can get to church on Sunday. Like, you call Al Sharpton, who's that say that? Who said Rodman, the comedian? Al Sharpton, he don't actually preach anywhere. So, like, Al Sharpton can stay all day. He's the reverend, but he don't actually have to go to church. He's just the reverend because he is. I like Jesse Jackson.
I probably want Cornel West. Speaking of reverends that don't actually preach.
That's first round. That's first round. Oh, Cornel West and your boy Michael Eric Dyson hand in hand.
Oh yeah, Michael Eric Dyson, because he'll start talking to you. You mess around, sign up for something that you didn't even know you were signed up for. What?
Yeah, dude, he be selling you some magazine subscriptions. I don't know. I just bought 3 issues of Sports Illustrated. I came to support Kaepernick. I got Golf Digest.
Just spit up on myself.
I don't know what happened, man.
When am I going to do all this chicken soup for the soul?
Right.
Oh, God. Wow. Yeah,
this dude just sold me a Napster download card. That dude is good. That dude is good. Hey, Michael Eric Dyson.
Oh man, right. Card ain't got no minutes on it. Yeah, right. Nah, it's bad business. Yeah, he got to be on the team. Yeah, man. Anyways, and probably Jay-Z. But Spike Lee, I don't think he's on my top 10. Like, that's the C list. Because like you said, he'll come, but he's got to make some cash off it. He's like, I got it, but as long as I own the rights. What? Yeah. How you own the rights to my protest? Look, man, take it or leave it.
Mm-hmm. That's my last offer.
Wait, how are you offering me? It's my protest.
Good day, sir. Like, what?
Right. You stole fizzy. Anyway,
etc. All right, man. So, dude, this is it. That's it. That's the podcast. Oh, we had one quick hitter, but I don't even think it should be a quick hitter because we only got one. So, Josh Rosen.
No, that don't count.
Josh Rosen, UCLA quarterback, real quick. So he came out and he made a statement. And he was saying, he said, quote, football in school.
College football.
College football and
school.
Don't go together. They just don't go together. And it set off, and he said a bunch of other stuff. He said things like about, you know, if you're going to have people get education, it should actually help the players. And they just push people through school. They don't care if you learn or anything, which a lot of people objected to. And he also talked about that he wanted to take a certain class. He goes, I want to take a class, and I couldn't take the class because it interrupted with the football schedule, but they only offer that class once a year at that slot. So now this class I wanted to take, now I can't take it. And he got killed. He got killed on all the talk shows you think he would have got killed on. You know, like Dan Patrick and Rich Eisen and, you know, those shows. Like on Dan Le Batard. Dan Le Batard
all the Fox shows.
My man, Dan Le Batard is never going to say anything bad about any college kid, number one. Number two, he's all about, you know, not even player empowerment. He's just all about, you know, just hijinks. So, like, anything that makes people mad, Dan Le Batard is all in for, which actually influences my sports opinion and my sports basis a lot. It's actually one of the only shows I listen to for that very reason. Like, I'm not really concerned with all that. So, anyways, but he got killed. But one of the main things, especially like Dan Patrick, which I listen to some of the show, whenever there's a topic, I'll listen to Dan Patrick. If there's no topics, I don't listen to Dan Patrick because then he'll start talking about whatever's interesting to him, which is wholly uninteresting. Like, what's the best Led Zeppelin album? I was like, I don't care. You know, I don't care about that. I like Led Zeppelin, but I'm cool. Or like his new Traeger grill and how he can grill meat. I don't care about your commercials. But I watched Dan Patrick, and he had the head coach of UCLA on as well, Jim Zorn, and they talked about it. And one of his things he said that really stuck out to me was Josh Rosen sounds like, almost like a petulant child, but he said he has to understand there's certain, you can't have everything in life. He goes, this is a kid that seems like, his one parent was a doctor, the other one's a teacher, and he's gotten everything. And you can't have everything. So you can't take this class, so what? Like, life is about choices, and he has to understand you can't get everything. And damn, Patrick, I would say right here on this podcast, I thought we were paying him in education. So hold on, damn, Patrick. I thought we was paying him in books. I thought they didn't get paid because we were giving them education. So you're saying now the education that we're paying them in, even that is limited as well. Huh. I thought
Stay woke out here.
I thought they were student athletes, damn Patrick. I thought that's what it was all about. Student is before athlete. Shouldn't we be more concerned about them going to school and getting the education they want rather than playing football on Sunday or Saturday?
We gotta have a stay woke drop, man, because it's every once in a while you just gotta stay woke. I like what you just did there. You flipped it, didn't see that coming. I ain't gonna lie. It's like back in the day, Lenny Bruce, you say look at somebody's foot. That's not funny. People start looking at his foot, start laughing. That's funny stuff, man. That's funny stuff, man. You on your way. You on your way. You on your way. So, but I didn't see that coming. That's pretty cool. But the truth is even if you're just a student, you can't take, to that point, he makes a good point because you can't take every class you want. Like, what if he has another class that's offered at the same time? Oh, I can't take sociology because it's offered at the same time as physiology. Like, hey, dog, what you want to do? You want to be a physicist? You want to do the social piece? Like, what you want to do? You got to make a decision.
That is a good point.
With that piece. Anyways, but I see what you're saying, and I like what you did. Stay woke out there, though. But I like the stay woke piece because you're right. It shouldn't be football that's holding that down if that's how I'm paying you, though.
Yeah, and he said that's the only slot, but I had to go to football. He's like, the other thing is, he's like, it's a full-time job. It's tough to do that job and, and have school. He's like, you just can't be great at both. And it's true. You can't be great at both. And now, there's outliers. What's that dude? The dude Roll that went to FSU, and he was a Rhodes Scholar. And people hold him up as a Rhodes Scholar. But let me ask you a question. Do you think Zeke Elliott's a Rhodes Scholar? Like, do you think he went to Ohio State because he was the smartest dude? Like, honestly, you think Cam Newton was a Rhodes Scholar? And I'm not disparaging him. Like, there's dumb black people, there's dumb Mexican people, white people, Polynesian, they're dumb. Like, you think Ryan Leaf was a Rhodes Scholar? Brett Favre? Like, what about Jay Cutler as Rhodes Scholar? Like, none of these people. There's exceptions to everything. There's people that are exceptionally underachiever and exceptionally overachievers. And then there's everybody in the middle, which is basically the average of what people do. And most people that play football think they're going to the NFL. I would say, and maybe I'm wrong, I think when you get a Division I scholarship, you think you have a chance to go into the NFL. I think anybody that doesn't believe that would be dumb, right? I mean, per school, let's say there's 20 D1 scholarships, per school. If you're going to Ohio State, you think you have a shot at going to the NFL. There's no way. Boston College or UCLA or USC or Arizona State or Alabama, you think you're going to the NFL, period. The truth of the matter is only 1% of seniors go to the NFL. 1%. It's a very small amount. And of that 1%, the people that actually get a job and keep a job are probably even lower. But also nobody wants to go play at a small school. So let's flip this around a little bit. Josh Rosen, if he wants to, I'm pretty sure he can go to TennesseeState.com and probably take all the classes he wants to because he would just run the program, right? He could probably go do that, but he doesn't want to do that. So you decide to go to UCLA, and now you want this A1 education, and it's not, you can't have it all needed too, man. At the same time, UCLA is actually a good school. So if you had a choice, that's like somebody like, would you rather go to Harvard or or USF? No shade at USF, but if you give me a full ride to Harvard, why wouldn't I take the better school? Like if I actually wanted to learn. So, and it seemed like maybe he possibly wanted to learn. But my larger point is that I agree that the education is important because there's a lot of kids, if only 1% make it, there's a lot of kids that think they're going to make it. And as Ayo would say from street ball, a lot of them don't make. Actually, Ayo didn't say that. Said that. Skip to my loop. As Skip to Malou once said, most of them don't make it. So there are some people that are going to happen into an education, which sounds crazy. There's people that are going there, have no intention of going to school, think they're going to the NFL, and they get one semester in and they realize, man, I better get this education. So there is some value in that. Even though I think kids should get paid, there is some value in those people that do end up finding an education and they become successful and they actually never had a chance to go into the NFL. But to those people, I would say, they should get to take whatever classes they want to take. Like, if that's the way you're gonna pay them, they should get to take whatever they want to take. And my biggest problem with this Josh Rosen thing, and the reason I actually brought it up on the show, my biggest problem is this: Josh Rosen said football and school don't go together. I said that on this podcast like a year ago, and no one on ESPN asked me for a quote. No one asked me, hey, can we get that clip from your podcast? It's like ESPN don't listen to the show. When y'all start your streaming service, you need an aggregate site so you can actually get my show. Because if you got my show, you wouldn't have needed Josh Rosen. You would have needed me. You would have replaced Skip Bayless with me. Now, I would have quit First Take in 2 weeks because, that debate thing, you got to wake up early, Stephen A's hairline. I'd have been hypnotized by the whole situation. So I would have quit the show. But you need me. I don't need you. Remember that. When you give it out contracts, Dizzy, holler at your boy.
What you talking about?
All right.
What you talking about?
Let's wrap up the
I
show.
want to think archive First Take on that new list. Sorry, go ahead. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for tuning into the Last Show podcast. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn Radio. Also, go to my website, CortneyShaneWilliams.com. I'm adding some cool stuff. On the front page of my website, there's a tab. It says Album Release Show. You scroll down. Sign up. Seattle, Washington. I'm putting together a crazy show. I'm actually working on a band. And actually, once you got this far in the podcast, you already heard the intro of the show. So you know what's going on. So make sure you check out the show. It's going to be really fun. Releasing my album. That is October the 13th and 14th. My next monthly comedy show at Naked City Brewery is September 2nd with headliner Nathan Brandon. I'm going to try to have some special guests on that show as well because Bumpershoot Arts Festival is in town. So I think I can sneak a couple comedians I like on the show as long as I don't advertise them like I normally do. And, Bumpershoot pays all the money to bring them in. I give them $100 and we have the same show. So, thank you for tuning into the show. Subscribe, all that. Have a good rest of your week. Take it easy. Peace. All right, I'm about to record this intro for my album. If you got to drop off, you can drop off. We're going to do it light.
All right, let me jump about it here.
Like this.
What I was thinking? What if we just recorded, I don't know, what's 5 times 30? I don't know. But I was like, what if we just recorded 100 minutes or something like that, right? And then you just cut them into hey, how you doing, good sir? Good to see you, man. And then you just cut them. Oh, we'll be done by 8:15. And then you cut them into 5 20-minute sections and just put them out one at a time.
Yeah, you know what? I hadn't thought about that exactly, but something like that. The problem with that is that makes work, and this I'm not about work. I don't want to work. That's really it. That's the reason I don't edit the show at all.
How bad is it? Tough to cut it? What if we just did it? I feel like if you did it and just wrote the time down, you literally could just cut it 20 minutes at a time.
See, that's the problem. I got to go back. I got to look at the times. I got to split it, and then I got to post it. And one post is it, man. It's too much work.
All right. Okay.
Not going to be able to do it.
Just because I was listening, I only thought about that because I was listening to the Adam Carolla podcast with Kortneys. I'm sure you heard it too, right?
No, I listen. Oh, yeah. I listen.
Yeah, the Adam Carolla podcast with Kortneys. And one of the things he said on there is you got to do it 5 days a week, which is crazy. He was at least 4. And he was that's one of the ways you kind of get traction. Not saying you have to, obviously, because you've been doing it for a while. But I just thought that was kind of interesting. I was I wonder if we try to do 4 or 5 days a week, but obviously that's impossible. So I was and I just looked at it, we just did an hour and a half easy. So I was I wonder if we could just do 100, chop it up, and then just, send it out once a week. Obviously, things will happen, and you'll miss them. But I don't know, maybe we turn that into an emergency podcast. And then it comes out once a week, a little bit more digestible maybe. Because I know if it was me, I listen to a lot of podcasts. If it was an hour and a half, man, I kind of look at that. I'm like, I don't know if I could even listen to that. I'm like, that's
a good
long.
point.
Or I listen to it on double time or 1.5 at least sometimes, man. So I don't know.
We'll see.
Because if you did 5 25 minutes, probably more digestible. But this is a thought.
Yeah, don't hold your breath. It's not gonna happen. It's too much work.
I believe it.
Too much work.
All right, man. I'll talk to you though.
All right, peace. I'm about to record this intro.
Good to see you, boy.
Hello and welcome to the Last Show podcast. Before we get started with the show today, my album release show is underway. My comedy album is coming out October the 13th. It'll be available. I'm having a special album release show weekend, which I talked about in the last podcast. And I'm going to update y'all every week that I remember to update y'all at the beginning of the show before we start right here. So currently what I'm working on hiring a live band. So I got a DJ booked for the night, which I'll announce his name through my website, but it's really good. And I'm working on putting a live band together. So I'm leaning towards possibly having the band do the late show on Saturday. That's what I'm leaning towards as of right now. But things change. Right now, what you can do, though, is you can get tickets online. Tickets are going to be $15 in advance and $20 at the door. Real simple. But for everybody that listens to the show, everybody within the sound of my voice, download it, whatever, you can get your tickets for $10. All you got to do is go to brownpapertickets.com. That's Kortneys album show.brownpapertickets.com, or my website, CortneyShaneWilliams.com, or my Twitter, or my Instagram, at Kortney Shane. Go there. I sent out a link. Click the ticket link and enter code LAST SHOW. That's last show. Like Kortney's Last Show podcast. What? Last Show. LASTSHOWE. Enter code LAST SHOW. You get tickets for $10. That's my, I guess my gift to y'all some way for supporting me, supporting my career, supporting the show. Thank you. I hope that I get to the show and everybody on the list has code LAST SHOW. That'll let me know that, y'all came out and supported. So I want you guys to definitely come out. Please come out to the show. I'll be announcing the lineup for the show. I'll probably talk about it a lot more next show, but I want to make sure at least every podcast I let you guys know how you guys can get tickets. It's in Seattle, Washington, my album release show, October 13th, October 14th, 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Saturday, October 14th, and just one show right now, 8 p.m. I actually added the extra show on Friday at 8 p.m. I added that show because I had a good response from the Saturday early show, so I wanted to make sure everybody had an opportunity to see it. And, I want to do a lot of shows. I would do a show for the entire week if I could. Like Wednesday through Sunday, I would do shows. But let's start here. Not too ambitious. We got 3 shows currently right now. 8 p.m. on Friday the 13th, and 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Saturday the 14th. Make sure you get your tickets in advance. Go to Kortneys album show.brownpapertickets.com or go to CortneyShaneWilliams.com. You can get tickets. I'm announcing performers. Get on my email list. The whole thing. Follow me on Twitter. All right. Let's start the podcast. So yeah, man. What do you love baseball? Don't know, but look, man. Probably be, I think the dude got out with like a bottle of Jack and like cursed out the police. And